said, for our first show tonight, we are going to begin with A Way Back to Then, created and performed by Emma Sucato.
If they could see me now, that little gang of mine, I'm eating fancy chow and drinking fancy wine. I'd like those stumble bumps to see for effect, the kind of top drawer first-rate chums I attract. All I can say is, wow, we look at where I am. Tonight I've landed, pow, right in a pot of jam. What a setup, holy cow. They'd never believe it if my friends could see me now. Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming to my cabaret. To my right is the incredible Dan Williams. It's funny, if you would have told me 4 years ago that I'd be standing in front of you like this, I never would have believed you. But here I am. If they could see me now, alone with Mr. B, who's waiting on me like he was a maitre d'. I hear my buddy saying, crazy what gives. Tonight she's living like the other half lives. To think the highest brow, which I should say is he, should think the lowest brow, which there's no doubt is me. What a step up, holy cow, they never believe it. They never believe it if my friends could see me now. Hi, as you drama, look, it's me, Emma. Cabaret. You know, I have to tell you, I am a little bit nervous. This is definitely the nicest I've ever looked at the Sun Pavilion. We're changing it up tonight. After all, this cabaret is one of the last things I do in the Department of Drama. In a few weeks, I'm moving to New York City with some of my favorite people, and I'm really excited. But this actually isn't my first time moving there. If you don't know me, I didn't start college at Syracuse. I started it in the city, but that was a long time ago. I was very different then, and well, it didn't go so great. But we'll get to that later. For now, I'm going to take you back to where it all began for me. I decided to open my cabaret with If My Friends Could See Me Now from Sweet Charity, because at 7 years old, I performed my first ever dance solo to that song. I strutted on stage with a chair, a pink boa, giving the most embarrassing and overdramatic facial expressions of my life. I was such a dramatic kid, and all I wanted to do was be on stage. So, in 8th grade, I auditioned for Beauty and the Beast, and I wanted to be Belle so badly. Instead, I got cast as Madame de la Grande Bouche. The wardrobe. And I was totally crushed. I mean, my costume was this giant wheelable box, and for the entirety of Belle's ballad Home, I had to crouch inside my box so that I could be revealed after. Imagine. I'm crouched inside my box as this girl is singing the most beautiful ballad ever. And all I can think to myself is, whatever happened to my part? It was exciting at the start, and now we're halfway through Act 2, and I've had nothing yet to do. I've been off stage for far too long. It's ages since I had a song. This is one unhappy diva. The producers have deceived her. There is nothing I can see from my heart. Why But I quit them all as soon as I fell deeper in love with dance. For me, the dance studio was my happy place, and to this day, when I dance, I feel the most expressive, the most beautiful, and honestly the most myself. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, okay, she's probably gonna dance tonight. See, Tobias is thinking it right now. Well, I won't. I've done enough of that in this building, and tonight is not about that, so I won't do it. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, miss you for you. My heart won't let my feet do things they should do. You know what? You're lovely, so what? I'm lovely, but oh, what you do to me. I'm like an ocean wave that's bumped on the shore. I feel so absolutely stumped on the floor. Okay, maybe I'll dance a little bit, but nothing crazy. This isn't a dance review. Yeah, no, absolutely not. I might dance a little bit, but I definitely won't do that. Let's just forget it. I won't dance. Why should I? I won't dance. How could I? I won't dance. Merci beaucoup. I know that music leads the way to romance. So if I hold you in my arms, I won't dance. You're the only one. I said I won't dance Singing in the rain, singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling! I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from that place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain as I'm singing and dancing in the rain. When I dance, I'm charming and I'm especially when I do the continental. But this feeling isn't purely mental. For heaven rest us, I'm not asbestos, but still I'm dancing in the rain. Da 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 da. I'm happy again. I'll walk down the lane with happy refrain as I'm singing and dancing in the rain. We got that out of the way. Seriously, don't ask again. Anyway, dance was something my parents put me in for the heck of it, and it just kind of stuck. My early dance teacher, Michelle, started to see some potential in my dancing, and later that really got me thinking, could I do this? Could I maybe pursue performing after high school? And my parents, who are here tonight, were so supportive of all these questions that I had. They're the reason that I'm standing in front of you right now. My dad actually plays the piano and the accordion, believe it or not. And my mom sings. I I grew up watching them perform around the house together for fun, and I just remember thinking how badly I wanted to sing like my mom. She introduced me to musicals, and so her senior year of high school, she played Nellie in South Pacific. So anytime I sing this next song, I always think of her and everything she taught me growing up. When the sky is a bright canary yellow, I forget every cloud I've ever seen. So they call me a cockeyed optimist, immature and incurably green. I have heard people rant and rave and bellow that we're done and we might as well be dead. But I'm only a cockeyed optimist, and I can't get it into my head. I hear the human race is falling on its face. It hasn't very far to go, but every whippoorwill is selling me a bill and telling me it just ain't so. I could say life is just a bowl of jello and appear more intelligent and smart, but I'm stuck like a dope with a thing called hope, and I can't get it out of my heart. Not this heart. I was an eager kid with a plan. I was going to move to New York City and become a performer. Now, I didn't know how or when I would ever get there. I just wanted to be like Wrinn. So, my senior year of high school, when it came time for me to decide where I wanted to go to college, and I was choosing between Syracuse or NYU, I thought, well, if musical theater is what I want to do, then I should go to New York City. And I hate change. So, I was already feeling really hesitant about moving off to college, and it didn't help that I was going from Texas to the craziest city ever. But I was also really excited because it was New York City, this place I had always admired. I studied all the pictures in magazines and books. I memorized the subway map too. It's 1 block north to Macy's and 2 to Brothers Brooks. Manhattan, I prepared for you. You certainly are different from what they have back home, where nothing's over 3 stories high, and no one's in a hurry or wants to roam. But I do, though they wonder why. They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air. But when you're walking down that street and you ain't had enough to eat, the glitter rubs right off and you're nowhere on Broadway. They say that I won't last too long on Broadway. I'll catch a Greyhound bus for home, they all say. But they're dead wrong, I know they are, 'cause I can play this here guitar, and I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. And so, with my overweight suitcases and a dream, I arrived in the greatest city in the world. NYC just got here this morning. $3, 2 bags, 1 me. NYC, I give you fair warning. Up there in my here, at least not right now. I probably should have taken it as a sign that I wasn't where I felt I was supposed to be when I was wearing a Syracuse t-shirt to bed every time. My freshman year roommate was like, yeah, you're not gonna stay. She was right. I had this feeling that I made the wrong choice in coming to the city so soon. And so I made a decision for myself that I needed to leave and say goodbye to New York City. I just thought, I gotta get out of here. Taxi! Hi. Trust me, I'm not crazy. I can see you making faces in the rearview mirror. I will pay you what the meter says. Just drive me up the highway. I don't care how far the way is. I guess what I'm trying to say is, in the bike lane of life, sometimes you've gotta get out, hit the gas, make a turn, make this taxi speed. Cause there isn't a thing in this world that I need more than someplace my head could be clear. Probably miles and miles from here. I don't mean to scream and I don't mean to shout, but right now, God, I really gotta get out. Guess the only thing to do is to get myself out and accept the fact we're through. We won't get that far staying where we are. Oh my God, start the car! I gotta get out. I was sure that the city was exactly what I wanted, but all the things that I loved about it as a kid started to really scare me as an adult. So I came here, thinking that I would immediately feel this sense of relief and belonging, and I didn't right away. New York City wasn't what I had expected, and now Syracuse wasn't either. I think that I was searching for the perfect place to spend these next 4 transformative years of my life, and I thought I knew exactly what that was, but really, I had no idea. I met a man without a dollar to his name, who had no traits of any value but his smile. I met a man who had no yearn or claim to fame, who was content to let life pass him for a while. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life like the movie stars led. And he kissed me right here, and he said, I'll give you stars and the moon and a soul to guide you and a or needed, was to figure out who I was. In that year of transferring, I really felt like I lost my sense of self, and this natural confidence and optimism that I had as a kid started to fade. Suddenly, this thing that I loved became a little bit trickier to want to pursue. I desperately needed to recapture that fearlessness and curiosity I had when I was younger. Dancing in the backyard, Kool-Aid mustache and butterfly wings, hearing Andrea McCardle sing from the hi-fi in the den. I've been waiting my whole life to find a way back to then. I aimed for the sky, a 9-year-old can see so far. I'll conquer the world and be a star. I'll do it all by the time I'm 10. I would know that confidence if I knew a way back to then. So I bailed on my hometown and became a college theater dork. I was eastbound and down, moving to New York. So I crammed my life in a U-Haul to find my part of it all. But the mundane sets in, we played by the rules and plowed through the days. The years take us miles away from the time we wondered when we'd find a way back to then. It took me a while to find my footing here, but at the end of junior year, we put on this dance review. And it's probably my favorite thing I ever did at Syracuse because I was surrounded by my friends, connected by our shared passion for dance, and suddenly I felt like a little kid again. And when you least expect, opportunity walks through the door. You suddenly connect with the thing that you forgot that you've been looking for. And there you are, right in the middle of what you love, with the craziest of company. You're having a kick-ass time and being who you wanted to be in this world. You're that little girl with her wings unfurled, flying again. Back in the backyard, dancing, I found a way back to then. It's funny. With each year of getting older in college, I feel like I've become more and more like my younger, theater-loving self. I'm now a senior, and I'm moving to New York City again. And so there's a lot that's going through my head. So you know what? I'm gonna take a page from my younger self's book. I totally got this. I know you, your name is Sue, but who am I? I've gotta find out, at least I've gotta try. I'm going back where I can be me, to the Bonjour Tristesse Brassiere Company. They've got a great big switchboard there where it's just hello, goodbye. never thought I'd get to the place where I am right now. Feeling sad about saying goodbye to Syracuse, and also excited about moving back to New York City. I don't know what the future holds, and so I'm gonna hold on to my younger self a little bit tighter today in the way that I go about pursuing this career, in the way that I love others, and in the way that I go about life being curious. Dan, where am I going now? Every day, I get a little bit closer to that confidence I had as a kid. But I'm still figuring it out, and that's okay. I don't think we have to know who we are at any given moment. We just have to try, and fail, and try again. I'm broke, but I'm happy. I'm poor, but I'm kind. I'm tall, but I'm healthy, yeah. I'm high, but I'm grounded. I'm sane, but I'm overwhelmed. I'm lost, but I'm hopeful, baby. What it all comes down to is that everything's gonna be fine, fine, fine. I've got one hand in my pocket, and the other one is giving a high five. I feel drunk, but I'm sober. I'm young, and I'm underpaid. I'm tired, but I'm working, yeah. I care, but I'm restless. I'm here, but I'm really gone. I'm wrong, and I'm sorry, baby. What it all comes down to is that I haven't really got it figured out just yet. I've got one hand in my pocket, and the other one is giving a peace sign. Where am I? I'm free, but I'm focused. I'm happy, but I'm wise. I'm hard, but I'm friendly, baby. I'm scared, but I'm laughing. I'm brave, but I'm chicken shit. I'm silly, but I'm pretty, baby. What it all comes down to, my friends, is that no one's really got it figured out just yet. I've got one hand in my pocket, and the other one is playing the piano. Everybody give it up! My director, Kathleen. And thank you all for being here. I never want to take any of this for granted, because if my younger self could see me now, she'd be really excited. I'm a lot of things, and New York City